Show your friends you support independent comics while showing the world who you back in the fight against the swarm with the brand new Cyberfrog t-shirt from Crypto Fashion and Comic Artist Pro Secret. Sizes come in small to 5XL, and take your choice of colors between navy blue, white, and black. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and order the Fandom Menace, Go Get Daddy's Belt, Tico, and Soilo t-shirts as well. Link is below in the description. You're gonna look great. People love these shirts. They fit wonderfully. Thank you very much. Rogue One's heroes aren't so heroic, and that's a good thing. The Last Jedi has no respect for nostalgia. The Last Jedi demolishes Star Wars conventions, and that's a good thing. Lando was cut from Star Wars isn't doing it, and it's a good thing. And that's Star Wars, The Last Jedi, and that's exactly why it's broken. That's a good thing. It's not giving us, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Hello. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. Thank you for being here. I am a comic book artist with 25 years of experience. I am the creator of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, the Smash Indiegogo hit campaign. It's going on right now. If you'd like to go over there and buy a copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, I'd appreciate it. The link is below in the description. I'm also the illustrator of Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, and I'm a great big Star Wars fan, which is why we find ourselves here. Really just kind of coming to grips with the crushing, disastrous failure of Solo: A Star Wars Story. We're now hearing that for the first time, a Star Wars movie will lose upwards of 80 million, and I think that's conservative. I think that's what they're telling us. But this is the first time a Star Wars movie has actually been a box office disaster. Heads will roll. I have information that, and it's just rumor, Kathleen Kennedy will step down and appoint her successor in September, and from what I hear, her successor is going to be even worse. But even still, heads must roll, and I think that maybe that is a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing. Look at this effort and media mind control over Star Wars. Solo's box office failure is actually good for Star Wars. Oh, is it really? Well, I guess in a way it is. Yeah, they're gonna probably a lot of people that are dead weight are gonna get fired. There won't be a Solo 2. There won't be a Solo 3. Maybe Rian Johnson won't get to make his stupid trilogy with his big round head, calling fans white supremacists over there and man babies. That'd be nice. Yeah, a lot of good things could come of that. Is that what you mean, CBR? Somehow I doubt it. Let's proceed. Employing box office numbers as a barometer to determine a film's success shortly after its release can be a precarious means of measurement. When a film like Justice League can make almost 700 million worldwide at the box office and then is deemed a failure, yeah, that's simple math. The original director spent 350 million making that movie. Then he had to step away because of a family tragedy. They rehired, Warner Brothers rehired someone else to finish it, Joss Whedon. And Joss Whedon, much like Ron Howard, similar situation, got in there, got a hold of the material and the half-finished product and says, I can't do this, bleh, I cannot use this. I cannot use this product, and then pushed it aside and demanded more money to continue making the film. And indeed, Joss Whedon, from what I understand, spent another $300 million on Justice League, dooming it to failure. When your budget is $650 million just making the film, that's not including the inevitable promotional costs, which usually double your cost of production. This movie is going to fail. Yeah, and the same thing probably happened with Solo. We still don't know how much money Ron Howard added to the budget that he ballooned. I mean, we know $250 million was spent by Lord and Miller, who are both thankfully still alive. They both popped their heads up. I think they're both laughing at the failure of Solo, the first box office disaster ever handed to Star Wars. They popped up on social media yesterday. I told them both I was glad that they were alive. I'd heard rumors otherwise. I'd started them. Yeah, so that's how it works basically. Ron Howard comes in, doubles that budget, and then no matter what they make, it's going to fail. So yeah, it made 700 million worldwide at the box office. It is deemed a failure. You have to wonder what kind of curve film studios and fans are grading on. They're grading on profit. That's the curve. It's profit. It's outgoing expenses versus incoming income. Yeah. Do tie-in merchandise and home video releases make up for whatever wasn't gained in the theater? Does it even matter? Yeah, it does. It does matter. Yes, they can, and it would matter if it happened for Solo. And I think they're hoping that it will, and anticipating that they might break even. But I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how quickly those Solo Blu-rays fly off the shelf, aren't we? Honestly, we won't pretend to know, because you do know. You're pretending you don't know. The algorithm through which movies are tailored to target audiences and how the amount of money spent to make them is determined is an indecipherable puzzle box that even the most ardent pop culture obsessed nerds can't crack. This is called willful stupidity. I want to thank you, CBR. Thank you for this article. This is fabulous. It's a wonderful illustration of it's a good thing, and the kind of dumbass mind control that the Star Wars media does try to practice on some of its fans. But we won't tolerate that here. For every massive billion-dollar hit like Avengers: Infinity War, there are at least half a dozen other would-be blockbusters released the same year that earn a fraction of the market share for a myriad of reasons, all of which seem to hold some validity while also sounding like pure conjecture. Well, Avengers: Infinity War kept to its budget. It is a proven success, and the theaters people like the Avengers, right? Same cast as usual. And also, it was well written and fun, and like I said, it stuck to the budget, and it made all that money back. You anticipate what you're going to make based on prior films, and yeah, it's not that hard. It's not a mystery. Good, Solo bad. Spent what it was supposed to spend. Spent too much money. There you go. The most recent of these presumed failures. Oh, so it didn't fail. Just presumed to fail. Make up your mind. Is Solo a Star Wars story which is not performing the way many had predicted? Wrong. It's performing exactly the way I predicted, and I am many. We are legion here. We predicted that this would be an utter disaster. It is performing even worse than I predicted. And I said from the start that in order for this movie to be a success, it would need to make $340 million in its opening weekend. It did not make nearly that. It made less than half of that worldwide, much less than half of that worldwide, and so it is performing as expected. And this is a very sad picture now, in retrospect. Very sad picture. Now, before anyone sheds a tear for Solo, it isn't doing as terrible as, say, Disney's John Carter. Well, that's good. Which had a pretty disastrous opening weekend and never really recovered from. It did eventually go on to earn a cult following. Solo, on the other hand, hit over $100 million in its first weekend, and while there was a steep second-week drop in ticket sales, the film is closing in on $300 million worldwide mark quickly. Well, that's awful. That is awful. It spent probably about $600 million, so that is not good. To be fair, Disney wants the film to be better. I actually had to shake my head like a cartoon character there. But what studio wouldn't? No one in their right mind would dump $250 million into a project and just hope to break even. Well, they did. They dumped much more than that. They dumped more than $500 million into the project, and at this point, yeah, they are hoping to just break even. But not every release is going to be Infinity War, nor should it be. No, it should be. It should stop. Every release should be Infinity War. If anything, this might be providing the perfect moment for Disney to look at how it's handling its Star Wars films, specifically the standalone entries. The saga is the saga, and Episode 9 will no doubt make $1 billion. It should, and it probably will make $1 billion, which will be less than The Last Jedi made. I'm guessing it'll actually make $900 million, and it will depress the hell out of Disney, because people are leaving now. People are actually losing faith in the franchise. They have moved on. 2 terrible movies in a row. 2 in a row. It's not that it was too much. It's just that it was too much awful. So I think this is actually going to disappoint. But if it does make $1 billion, it's still proceeding on this downward slope, and that will be interesting to see. Even if the entire film is just J.J. Abrams picking up George Lucas dry cleaning while the Imperial March theme plays in the background for 2 hours, people will sleep on the sidewalk to see it opening night. Well, you don't have a very high of an opinion of Star Wars fans. I do. I do have a high opinion of Star Wars fans, and no, they won't. They won't at this point. They may have for The Phantom Menace. They may have for The Force Awakens. Those days are over. O-V-E-R, over. Now they might even boycott at this point. They might boycott. That's what they're saying. I have my ear to the ground, and I'm listening to what Star Wars fans say, and they say things like, I'm going to boycott episode number 9 because Disney's not listening, and I want them to fail. I understand that. I understand that. Even the Krabby fans who were upset, who were upset with The Last Jedi will be there. They may say differently on Reddit and YouTube, but once pre-sales pop up, they will begrudgingly log into Fandango. After all, everyone who saw Attack of the Clones was more than willing to buy tickets for Revenge of the Sith. Never forget that. Well, that's damn sinister. That's downright insane. On paper, a film exploring the history of a fan-favorite character from a beloved, long-running franchise sounds like it would be an instant hit. This is garbage. This is absolutely garbage. What should Disney learn from Solo's failure? They should listen to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. Star Wars gonna Star Wars. Fatigue. Is that action figure part of the Black Series? A Last Jedi honeymoon had just ended when Solo hit theaters. Look, we get saying things like too much Star Wars is like declaring there's too much cake. Perhaps allowing these standalone films to be their own beast and take much more risks will only help build the franchise further. This is pure garbage. At the end of the day, the content is all at Disney's fingertips. The studio has over 40 years of Star Wars stories to cherry pick from. Now all it has to do is choose which basket each cherry needs to be dropped in. Despite the immortal words of Master Yoda, the only way to find out what belongs where is this ever-expanding multi-platform universe. I almost garbage-tiered him. In this ever-expanding multi-platform universe is to give it a try. Yeah, give it a try. Try things. There will be setbacks and failures. What's $1 billion on a setback or a failure? And if Solo having a $1 million opening weekend is considered a failure, Disney must be doing something right, even if it could be better. No, it's doing something very wrong. This is simple mathematics. If buying an apple for $4 and only selling it for $1 is considered a failure, then Disney must be doing something badly. And they are. They are spending too much money, making garbage. They're alienating fans while doing so. They are letting terrible press reach the ears of the garbage tier media, which is sharing it to us, scaring the fan base away. And they are just continuing to double and triple down on failure. There's a chaotic hiring practice over there. And Kathleen Kennedy needs to go with her politics. They all need to go. All these people, get them out of here. Get some professionals in. We need more Ron Howards. We need less Ryan Johnsons. And we need some good ideas. It's a good thing. Hello, potential Indiegogo backers. Hello, friends. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I'm a comic book creator who worked for 20 years for Marvel and DC Comics on books like Green Lantern, Flash, Superman, Batman, and X-Men. But before that, I had a comic book called Cyberfrog. Now, Cyberfrog lasted from 1993 to 1998, and then it stopped when I went to go work for DC Comics. Now I want to tell the story of where Cyberfrog has been for the last 20 years. I want to write, pencil, ink a book called Cyberfrog Blood Honey that tells the story of gigantic alien hornets that come to Earth and conquer it, sending Cyberfrog into deep hibernation, where he emerges now in the year 2018 into a completely alternate reality, a new world where these hornets have taken over, devastated humanity, using human skin to make gigantic wasp hives, and harvesting human blood to make honey to feed their young. Very few humans still exist. But it's up to Cyberfrog to save what's left of humanity and turn back the damage that's been done by these wasps with his brother Salamandroid and his friend Heather Swain. I want you to help me do this. We're going to get colors by Kyle Ritter. He's a fantastic colorist, and he's going to make this book sing. I'd like this to be a 48-page one-shot prestige format, part 1 of 4. So I'm asking you to help me launch the very first Cyberfrog Blood Honey epic graphic novel. Are you in? Will you help me? I hope so. Let's get this frog jumping again.